Let's try to explain a deeper idea here. We mentioned in the last talk, in the last sharing session we had, that based on Pirkei Avos, first Perek, 18th Mishnah, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says that the world is Kayam on Din, which is judgment, truth, emes, and shalom. And we suggested that Yitzchak, because Yitzchak, which is Din, was introduced, Parshas Lech Lecha, to Avraham's life, Avraham became a more complete version of himself. So Lech Lecha was this idea of Din, severing, disconnection, in order to reclaim himself, to understand his true self, in order to have the ability to be chesed, to really connect to others in a deep, profound way. What happens is like this: when a person really chooses to work on themselves, when a person really chooses to embark on that mission of self-knowledge, self-definition, which we came to understand happened in Yaakov, in Abraham's life, Yitzchak became who he needed to be. Yitzchak became who he needed to be in a very, very deep way. And that didn't just end with Yitzchak. Avraham had self-definition, Yitzchak found himself as well. But it happened with Yaakov as well. That when a person holds a sense of self and the family sees that, the people around you see it, it's easier to be more authentic. When a person is encouraged to be authentic, to be truthful, to be real with what's going on, life looks very different. We can hold healthier relationships. People can sometimes get annoyed or upset, and they're not judged in a negative way upon it, and they don't create these different complexes. We know that Yaakov is a trait of beauty. V'titen emes liYaakov, as well, truth. Yaakov is tiferes, beauty. Yaakov is emes. And what we are told in the beginning of Vayetze, it says Vayetze Yaakov mi Beersheva. We're told this very interesting idea in some of the Sfarim HaKadoshim, that Yaakov could come out and could work with all the different character traits, the 7 lower spheres, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yisod, then Malchus. He could work with every sort of person. Why? Because he was authentic within himself. So Vayetze Yaakov, Yaakov came out of anything that he could potentially fall into. So what happens? Let's explain this. The midah of truth is that you know yourself and you could be authentic and real with yourself. So when you're relating to other people, sometimes what happens is we fall into their paradigm. We fall into their paradigm. Say, for example, they are slightly dysfunctional. If we hang around them enough, we can become dysfunctional. We don't want that. Or say, for example, someone, God forbid, is abusive. They are a bully. We can fall into becoming a victim. So we can fall prey to their character flaws. What is the idea of Yaakov? Vayetze Yaakov mi Beersheva. Vayetze Yaakov, that Yaakov who was truth, Yaakov who was beauty, can come out of the Beersheva. He wasn't held strong. He wasn't held bound. He didn't become imprisoned by the realities around him. He held his own truth, his own sense of self, his authentic self. And that's why as well Yaakov is the midah of beauty, tiferes. Because when a person has the Yitzchak, the din, and when a person has the chesed, they know they want to relate to people. And they could live, as we mentioned some time ago, in the moment. The other midah that we need is to hold strong to our truth, that we're not bought by that which is going to be detrimental to us. That we can hold strong to what's true for us, to our values, to hold strong to our beliefs, and not fall prey to that which isn't real, and authentic to us. So Vayetze Yaakov mi Beersheva. Yaakov could come out of Beersheva. He could come out of the different sorts of people around him. He didn't fall into their poster, into their paradigms. He could hold his own. He could remain loyal and truthful to his authentic self. And this, as we said, is the next stage. First we have Din, which is, as we mentioned last week, Sedra, that Yaakov reclaimed. Yaakov had only become the real expression of Chesed because of Yitzchak Din. And that din leads on. When we really have that in our life, then emes, we can always remain loyal and truthful to our beliefs. And we don't have to fall prey, we don't have to become imprisoned by what other people are thinking about us, saying about us, or if we become a bully, if somebody, God forbid, bullies a person, chooses not to become a victim. My authentic self says, no, I'm drawing a boundary, no more emes, this is not my value, this is not my belief. So may we have a bracha that we could recognize the deep words of Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, that the world is kayam on din, the world is kayam on emes, and as we'll see next week, Be'ezras Hashem, the world is kayam on shalom. May we live with the midas of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov.